Okay, so this street right here is called Rua da Felicidade, which is Street of Happiness. So we're gonna walk down it and kind of talk about the history of it a little bit, and we'll kind of check it out just to give you a little bit of a reference. There's Alfandega, which is kind of a place with a lot of Filipino businesses in particular, and that kind of leads uphill quite a bit, and then this one goes downhill. And there's a lot of history with sing-song girls, opium dens, all kinds of interesting stuff. So I'm going to talk about what I know about it. So so stay tuned for that while we film it. And it's actually the day after a typhoon as well. So you'll see people opening up now that it's now the typhoon has passed. So stay tuned for this one, Rua da Felicidade. Hello. Hey, check it out, Macau 2023. Check out some more streets. Okay, so let's take this one down. So we're gonna walk in here. I'll tell you right now, the Felicidade means happiness. So this has been a historic nightlife area. And what I'm gonna do to start out with is I'm gonna go and show you these temples real quick as well. So I think I'm gonna walk this particular way, like this, and we're gonna walk down to the left, and then you're gonna see these temples, which I always thought was kind of interesting because I lived in Japan for about 5.5 years exactly. Not about, definitely. And the nightlife areas always had shrines in Japan. I always thought that was so interesting that they would combine, you know, they wouldn't see drinking or nightlife as in the same way that another religion. So I always kind of thought this was kind of cool. So you got a Patio do Idilo, and you have this shrine right here, and it's right at the base of this historic nightlife area. I'm also going to talk about something else that I saw quite a while ago that kind of relates to hauntings, spirituality. So this is going to be our target street right here. We're going to walk down it, and some of these, this is called Nadi Nuris right here. This is a Balinese Indonesian, and I think that that is not the original building anymore. They but the ones right next to it, all the white with green trim, those are the original buildings, and I'll kind of talk about that too. This looks like it's probably original right here too, but that one right next to it is not. And you can see that store says Yo-Yo Mart Philippines. So that street up there is kind of known as kind of a Filipino business owners are up there, and they cater towards the fairly large Filipino population. About, I think it's like 3% of the population. Got some interesting alleys, of course, like this. I have filmed in there before, but today I'm gonna focus on the sing-song girls and the history of this particular street. And basically, these, I think they had a mix of different things. So they had like gambling stuff and then sing-song girls. So sing-song girls in particular are the ones that are most interesting. So they would be available, and they would basically be like poets, musicians, artists. So they would be skilled in all these skills to entertain men, and they would make money off of it, of course. And then people would come and frequent them, and they're also available for sex as well. But predominantly it was kind of like an entertainment thing. So they were skilled in many ways to entertain their clients. So this area would have been filled with that. And so basically what would happen is these would be, I got to read the book again. There's a lot of books about it, but there's one in particular I was just looking at yesterday, like 2 days ago, I mean. And they were just kind of describing the scene. And it sounds like, you know, the girls would kind of hang out here, and then they would kind of come and try to bring in the guy, kind of what you'd probably see in Thailand. But they would have this entire street kind of devoted to it, and I think it'd be mixed in with other stuff as well. But the structure of them, I believe that they would bring the guy upstairs, and would kind of hang out downstairs, you know, or they might open up those windows if they're free and available, and just kind of call from down below as well. And so this is kind of the main street of this Rua da Felicidade. And just a little bit of a reference, it's also the day after a typhoon. So if you're wondering why it's so quiet and everything looks like the way it does, it's because of the typhoon. it's still category 8 as far as I know, so everything is still predominantly closed. And then I also noticed that there's some side streets as well. So this is a little Beco da Felicidade, and this has been kind of like a second street of it. So I guess it became popular that they needed to create this second one as well. But of course I'm going to stick to my focus street, but they have the same name, so Beco da Felicidade and Rua da Felicidade. This one looks like it's closed down already. Let's kind of step outside a little bit. So yeah, this whole street would have been all the way up to the top. So we're gonna go back down again. And actually this one, I think they're gonna put a lot more money into it, but it's been kind of derelict. There's like all this, it's a tourist street, but it's it doesn't really bring in the people that it should. But I think they're gonna try to create more pedestrian zones. This is kind of by default a pedestrian, but cars can come down it, but you don't see so many because it's hard street. So I think they're gonna try to, there's a street not too far from here called Almeida Ribeiro, and they did a pilot program where they made it into a pedestrian street for I think 5 full days over several weekends, and I think it showed a lot of promise. It brought in a lot of people. It was a crowded street. It's unbelievable actually. And I think that this whole area they're gonna be pumping in a lot of money. Just to give you a little background, each casino, there's 7, I think is, I might have my information a bit wrong, but basically there was approximately 7 large casinos that all pledged to invest about $1 billion, if you translate it into English, into some kind of development of the city of Macau. Here's the patio again. So the other one would have went connected with that. And so they all have their different things that they're investing things into. Chinese medicine, Heng Xin, different things. And one of the casinos, I can't remember which one, I think it's maybe MGM or Wynn. It's one of the ones on the Macau side here. They're gonna put money into this whole area and just kind of try to really revamp it. So I think that this is probably gonna be one of the target streets. So I'm gonna guess that this is gonna change quite a bit. And I think that's like a 10-year pledge. So you're not going to see changes immediately, but I think it's a 10-year pledge to invest about $1 billion, sorry. And that's one of the ones focus is that one right here. So anyways, that's our street. We're crossing Travessa da Felicidade. You can see it on the sign right there. Then this one right here is a famous a restaurant. It's I think this restaurant has Malcanese or Portuguese or something about it makes it really special, so a lot of tourists will come and visit here. Actually, when I was reading this book, I was reading it, oh, it says 1903. This book I was reading took place in 1940s, and they were talking quite a bit about this one. It was a reference quite a few times because it's such a connection to the street. There's a short story about a sing-song girl and a customer who I'm gonna read it again, and I'll tell you the story in another period. But anyways, there's a lot of history in the street right here called Rua da Felicidade. So I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna come back in, and then we're going to finish the video. And there's a little bit of history there for you, and a little bit of future-oriented projections as well. All right, Rua da Felicidade. And it's a typhoon category 8. It's the next day. I'll just tell you briefly. So last night we had a huge typhoon, and it's probably going to be down to category 3 soon, and that's why you don't really see anybody around here today. And I took advantage of the day just to kind of get out and film. So that's why it's kind of wet and rainy and kind of empty. All right. And it just dawned on me I didn't tell you the other part. So we're in the Patio Felicidade, Beco da Felicidade, and that was Rua da Felicidade right up there. So this is that parallel street that I was telling you about that also was kind of like a runoff of it. And the reason I wanted to come here is because when I first came here about 10 years ago, and it was probably like 7 or 8 years ago, maybe 9 years ago, and this had so many shrines. It was all lit up with shrines, and it was so haunted. So like you just have all these vibrations just go through your body, just like unbelievable. Like just the spirits in this alley, I don't feel any of them right now. They're all gone. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because it was so strong. So then I had a friend who visited me, and I just kind of blindly brought him through, you know, just kind of show me around. And then we went through here, and he had all those vibrations as well, just going through your body, just surging. I can feel it a little bit right here, actually. Yeah, I can feel it right in here, but nothing like I did at that other time. But yeah, I can feel it pretty strong right now. Not as strong as before, but yeah, they had all these shrines. So I think, like, I didn't really know the story about these, but I could feel, I can hear stuff too. But I could feel the energy is so strong in this space. Yeah, and actually the other thing about that time period too, I think the reason I'm filming is because I think if you believe in spirits, I think I'm allowed to share this story now. But the other time when I came here, I was with my friend, and I started filming it, and the camera turned off. I didn't have any footage, and I was kind of filming his reaction, and I didn't have the channel. I was using just a regular phone, but I was like trying to capture it, and then when I came home, it's like I didn't have any footage. Yeah. Anyways, that was in this street right here, and yeah, I felt it again at the corner down there, and I think all the shrines, all of it was down here, so I felt that right there, and yeah, let's just go back here for 1 second here, real quick. So when I was walking down telling you about it, I could feel it right about this area, right where this doorwell is at. So maybe this is I can't feel it now though. Yeah, anyways, thought I would share that. Yeah, this is it. Actually, since that time period, I've been trying to find the same spot again, and I knew that street right there that traversed the Bazo, there's a reference point, because I was with my friend and we went up to this street, and there's like a guest house right there, and we went around the corner and the camera turned off, and I think I did film that actually. I think I filmed that. It says something like Felicidade about it being red light, and that has a lot of views, I think. So I think it might have been one of my first, so maybe it wasn't 7 or 8 years ago, maybe it was more recent. Anyways, because I started talking about that story, I think I'm just gonna go in, and I identified the street. The street was kind of invisible to me. I just couldn't find it, and I just like, where's those shrines? Where's all that energy at that's gone? Yeah, and again, it's like gone now, but there's a little bit of residue energy there, just lingering slightly, and but it's not. It's a benevolent energy. It's not a imposing. Doesn't have like a violence to it, you know, basically. So, anyways, we're gonna go back out, and I just thought I would add that onto the video. And I guess it's good because you're gonna fill in the gaps a little bit. So we're Rua da Felicidade and Rua da Felicidade. So anyways, this is back to the sing-song girl part. Yeah, let me know if you know anything about that. Hey, check it out, Macau 2023. Check out some more streets.